Scottish, kilt, wrestling. I can bet you didn't think you'd hear those 3 words today. In fact, before this weekend, I'd never heard those 3 words. And while, yes, that was my first match, the story doesn't start here.
I've tried a lot of different martial arts, and every now and then one comes to me that's just different. This one's a little different.
See, a while ago, some people came to me with the idea of trying a sport called Backhold. What in the heck is that? They proceeded to tell me, oh, it's a part of the Highland games, you wear a kilt, and you wrestle. And I thought, well, that's all the context I need.
You booked a $1,000 trip not knowing what you're gonna do.
That is a pretty good summary, yes.
But to be fair, I just tried sumo like 6 months prior, and I came in second in nationals.
Nice!
To say I was a little overconfident was a bit of an understatement.
Okay, ask me what my plan is for tomorrow.
What's the plan
Win.
for tomorrow? Well, how are you gonna do that? The double ice cream?
I'm gonna make sure I get. Hey, don't call it the double ice cream.
This event ended up being held at the biggest convention center I've ever seen. There was wrestling, there was jiu-jitsu, there was other wrestling, there was arm wrestling, there was log wrestling, they were wrestling weights. I was wrestling insecurities, walking around in a kilt with nearly hairless legs. But in the very back was the only event that I didn't know the rules for, and was also the one I was competing in.
Backhold rules, okay? And it is an over-under. Once you take hold, it's on, okay? Now, if Todd flexes, whatever, and he breaks my grip, that's the end. Like, best of 3 matches. Now, other things that are legal. Obviously, throws. Takedown, anything that touches the ground besides the bottom of their feet. If I just grip the living shit out of him, crap out of him, and I bring him down to his knee, then yes, I win. Okay, now, so, any questions?
I mean, don't let go, don't fall down. I think I'm caught up. But my name was called, and minutes upon minutes of preparation were going to be tested. Will my overconfidence prove to be wrong? Or will I become the next breakout Backhold superstar?
Which brings me to the portion of the video where you meet Kyle. It's actually pretty early on because he's the first guy I went against. Kyle is a 6-time national champion in some form of wrestling, you name it.
I'm a national champion in sumo, belt wrestling, beach wrestling, on the traditional sports and games world team, so I just love wrestling.
Which brings us to the next segment of the video, who's going to win that match? Go ahead and lock in your votes for either A, Kyle, or B. Also Kyle, because I'm not winning. Yeah, Kyle 2-0'd me. That sucks, but you know what? We'll get our revenge against Kyle later.
So, you know, I go against the biggest person first. I take a loss. It's not ideal, but like I didn't do terrible. We're starting to muster up a bit of a crowd at this point. You see a bunch of grown men without shirts on that are wearing bottomless pants. People start to get intrigued.
Next 2!
And our hero's name was called again, hoping this time to earn himself a singular point. By breaking his competitor's grip, Seth has himself a lead. But being up 1-0 is not enough. Tied at 1-1, will he be That's 0-2. Yeah, it turns out that was Gary. He's a wrestling coach. Not that it mattered, that hair-beard combo is just simply too powerful.
So I'm gonna be candid with you guys after losing 2 matches in front of my wife. It's the first event she's ever been to of mine where I've like tried to do things. Do I look big at least? Do I look strong? You don't have to lie. I was a little embarrassed.
That sucks. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I was feeling pretty down about myself. I should probably stop being so open on the internet. There's some real oddballs out there. Luckily, this video is brought to you by Delete Me. Obviously, we all know that our personal information is out there. You're not living up in some cliff in Scotland. Gosh, that'd be nice. But it is probably worse than you realize. Your information. Like, how much your information's out there. Not the cliff in Scotland. I'm sure that's fantastic. See, every 2 seconds, someone on this earth is impacted by identity theft. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. No, but honestly, your information is probably out there. Your phone number, your credit card numbers, your past addresses, it's all shady. And frankly, if you wanted to take that information down yourself, it's possible, but man, it would take you forever for you to file your own request to get it taken down. So that's where Delete Me comes in. It's an amazing service that finds that data of yours that is out there on the data brokerage websites, hundreds of them, but then they get them deleted and they continuously are rescanning to find if your information is out there so they can delete that too. And on average, they will remove 2,000 pieces of personal information for a customer in their first 2 years. To date, they've removed 100 million pieces of personal information from the internet. So if you want to pull a Ron Swanson and get your personal information removed from the internet, make sure you go to joindeleteme.com/sensei. They're generously offering 20% off their privacy plans right now if you use code SENSEI at the checkout. Again, that's joindeleteme.com/sensei and make sure you use the code SENSEI to get that 20% off. Now let's get back to the video. What was I doing again? Sulking? I think I was sulking. Let's get back to the sulking. Okay, enough sadness. Here's what I'm thinking. Gosh, those guys are big. Okay, but more importantly, my next match is against Coringa Conway, who's like an MMA coach, black belt in jiu-jitsu, master in capoeira, sumo wrestler. Also, he's the one who's running this whole thing, so obviously he knows what he's doing. I'm gonna have my hands full. Oh, hey, literally. What I've been trying for is called an Uchimata, but that's been countered every single time I've tried it so far. So instead, we're gonna go for a foot sweep. This is a move that in my wrestling has been nearly foolproof. The only issue is that Coringa is such a technician that there's no way for me to expect what's coming from him. Coringa starts off the match incredibly strong with some great head positioning. He makes some attempts to break down my posture by buckling my knee and ends up breaking my grip in the process. What's crazy, and you don't even know this until now, is that Coringa popped his rib out like 4 matches ago. His rib's out there floating in nothingness. And if you were to look how he wrestles, you would never know. But I can't let his ribs slow me down. So I go for the foot sweep, and I freaking let go of the grip in the process. Dang it.
I'm doing, on a scale of 1 to 10, very poorly. 3 matches without winning any matches is a lot of matches to have lost without winning any, especially when there's only 5. I think there was 5. But I do have one thing on my side, an odd amount of confidence in myself in things that I've never done before. That was looking bleak too at this point.
And that bleakness is solely due to this man, Rashawn. Rashawn is a strong man who just won the Highland games I competed in and has over 10 professional fights.
There's actually quite a few people around at this point. Some of them walked up to me and were like, hey, I just won gold in my jiu-jitsu tournament in the same building. They were like, how are you doing? And I was like,
Yeah, not happy to say Rashawn was my last chance to, I don't know, not come in last.
Wasn't a good showing, so I had to like pull something out of me to rally. That's one.
I don't know how this is possible, but I'm just realizing I still haven't explained what Backhold is. Scottish Backhold is a style of folk-style wrestling. Apparently nobody really knows how it originated, but it's usually associated with the Highland games, which I also participated in last video. One of the main differences in Backhold and other styles of wrestling is obviously the kilt. Right? But surprisingly, the goal of this isn't to smash your opponent down to the ground. It's to either break their grip, or make them lose their balance, and then gracefully end up on your own feet again by rolling or cartwheeling or, you know, a bunch of stuff that I didn't do. Yet, that is. Because like I mentioned before, I'm gonna go against Kyle one more time. Why? This isn't even really for points. They just asked, hey, does anybody want to go again? And I was like, I want that guy.
Style where you hold backs, but you don't hold back. you do hold their back, but don't hold back on them. But hold their back. Backhold. Scottish wrestling. You know, but for some reason I just don't feel bad about losing to Kyle. I don't know, maybe it's because he came in first in this whole tournament. Or maybe it was because right after this tournament he flew to Scotland to compete in the World Championships for Scottish Backhold. Oh, you know what? Or maybe it could be because he smashed everybody and won. He came in first. In Scotland. So yeah, maybe that's why I don't feel so bad about coming in last.
You got third at Backhold. Oh, sweet.
I don't know how, I mean, I think. So I ended up coming in third, which was really surprising to me. Like, I was like, are you asking me to hatchet somebody else? Like, you want me to give this to somebody else? Whoever didn't come in last, I can give them that.
You get an axe?
I got an axe.
For what?
Good question. But no, it was mine. I came in third place. I guess I tied for third place. I don't know. I asked Coringa later, and I was like, "Hey, man, did you just give this to me?" And he said, "No, you won. That's yours. You won that." So I guess I won that. I still don't know if those numbers are right. It's sharp. Who sharpened these? Actually, you know what? I bet here's how it started. Some Scottish dude being like, "Yeah, good job lifting that rock. Can you throw me though?" Okay. All right. That's enough. You can stop it. Cut.